The narcissist, with their flashy appearance and overflowing confidence, always believes they are above the law and consequences. They manipulate, deceive, and trample over others to achieve their goals without the slightest fear of punishment. But can they truly escape the net of fate? Is there an invisible force silently observing and rearranging their lives? Today we will delve into the invisible hand of karma, exploring how it impacts the life of a narcissist and whether it has the power to transform them. Let's uncover the mysteries behind the laws of cause and effect and witness the unexpected twists in the lives of those who seem untouchable. Before embarking on this journey of discovery, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on our next exciting videos. Karma, like a mirror, reflects back to the narcissist exactly what they have sown. There are many forms of karmic retribution, ranging from directly suffering the consequences of their actions to confronting the raw truth of their selfish nature, or even being forced into life lessons that compel them to change. First, isolation will gradually envelop them. Those who are accustomed to manipulating and discarding others will eventually find themselves abandoned by the very prey they once exploited. With no one left to take advantage of, no one to drain, they will face the profound loneliness of their existence, and perhaps the distorted truth about themselves will begin to surface. Next, the reputation and status they hold so dear will crumble. Lies and cunning schemes will eventually be exposed to the light, causing them to lose admiration, applause, and even their career. The higher they fly, the harder they fall. The more a narcissist soars, the more devastating their free fall will be. However, karma is not solely about punishment. At times it can also offer a chance for transformation. Like a bitter medicine, the consequences they endure may awaken their conscience, helping them reflect on themselves and seek healing. Yet this path is fraught with challenges, demanding effort and perseverance, and not everyone has the courage to walk it. Therefore, don't place too much hope in the redemption of a narcissist. Don't wait for them to change or pin your hopes on a miracle that will transform them into a different person. The harsh reality is that the likelihood of such change is minimal, and clinging to hope will only bring you more pain and disappointment. Also, don't expect karma to strike immediately. You might dream of a poetic scenario where the one who deceived you is suddenly betrayed by their new partner, or the one who stole credit from you pays a heavy price within months. But the law of karma operates subtly and patiently. It's not fast food that delivers instant gratification. It takes time to develop its full flavor. Be patient, because once karma ripens, the narcissist will face consequences that are far beyond their imagination. So, what bitter fruits lie ahead for the narcissist? The answers will be unveiled right after this. Don't miss it. The narcissist is forced to face loneliness after burning too many bridges. Imagine the narcissist as a blindfolded dart player, constantly hurling sharp darts at everyone around them. These darts symbolize the harm, lies, and resentment they inflict on others. Initially, the narcissist may believe they are immune to the consequences, thinking their actions will never come back to haunt them. But like the game of darts, the more they throw, the higher the chance of hitting a target. And the ultimate target, in the end, is none other than themselves. Narcissists often burn too many bridges and destroy too many relationships they deemed unnecessary. They deceive, manipulate, and exploit the goodwill of others to achieve their goals. Each time they hurt someone, they see it as a victory, as a display of control over the situation. However, what they fail to realize is that every negative action is a karmic seed silently sprouting, waiting for the right moment to return everything they've given. The darts of resentment and hatred they throw do not simply vanish, they accumulate and eventually circle back to the one who cast them. Those once hurt by the narcissist may quietly rise, stronger than before, and refuse to be manipulated again. Their lies slowly come to light, their unjust actions recognized by all, and the toxic relationships they once dominated become irreparable burden. In the end, the people they used and underestimated will walk away, leaving the narcissist to face the loneliness they dread the most. Losing their supply is one of the greatest challenges for a narcissist because their entire psychological framework depends on receiving attention, admiration, or control over those around them. When those who were once manipulated or abused recognize the narcissist's true nature and leave, the narcissist's energy circle begins to shrink. This lack of supply not only diminishes the sense of power they constantly seek, but also exposes the deep insecurities they have hidden behind a perfect facade. The narcissist might react with intense anger as a way to reassert control, or they may spiral into vulnerability and depression as they realize they can no longer maintain the supply needed to sustain their distorted ego. In those moments, they are forced to confront the truth. They are not the center of everything, and their power is far from invincible. This creates a psychological vortex of negativity where they simultaneously struggle to fill the void while being consumed by their own loneliness and helplessness. Losing their supply is not just an emotional collapse, but can also mark the beginning of their comprehensive downfall in both personal and social spheres. They are trapped in the illusion of an empty ego. The narcissist, despite their dazzling exterior and apparent success, is like a lost soul endlessly adrift in their own life. They may possess things others dream of, a vast fortune, a loving family, or an admirable career, but deep down they never feel truly happy. They resemble starving individuals standing before a grand feast, constantly seeking something elusive, something that doesn't exist. That something is acceptance, peace, and genuine love, things they can never attain because of their distorted psyche and manipulative nature. They live in a psychological state of perpetual craving. To them, what they have is never enough. They dwell on their own unhappiness, convinced that they deserve more, that they are entitled to the very best this world has to offer. Yet, instead of appreciating what they already possess, they compare themselves to others, constantly feeling dissatisfied and envious. They see themselves as victims of societal injustice, wrapping themselves in a cocoon of self-pity and endlessly blaming others for their misfortunes. These negative thoughts and emotions not only trap them in a spiral of discontent, but also become the karmic burden they carry throughout their lives. Karma is not some mystical force, but the natural result of their own actions, thoughts, and feelings. Narcissists are imprisoned within their chaotic minds, unable to enjoy simple pleasures or feel genuine love from those around them. Even when love is real and sincere, it can never fill the bottomless void inside them. Imagine living in a mind constantly restless, perpetually tormented, always feeling the world is unjust toward you. Each day you grapple with emptiness, crave attention but never feel it's enough, yearn for love but sabotage every relationship around you. Isn't that a living hell? This is the karmic retribution narcissists must endure, a life overshadowed by unhappiness they themselves have created. Their karma doesn't just stem from the harm they inflict on others, but also from how they treat themselves. By deceiving, manipulating, and hurting others to get what they want, they fail to see that their actions ultimately harm themselves. By destroying meaningful relationships, they isolate themselves. By demanding too much, they plunge into an endless cycle of dissatisfaction. Their karma is eternal insecurity, the feeling of loneliness even when surrounded by a crowd. It is the constant yearning for things they don't know how to grasp. And that is the greatest punishment. Not something external, but an inner torment born from within. Karma is a lesson each person must learn for themselves, but for narcissists, this lesson often comes too late. They not only lose the people who matter most in their lives, but also lose themselves in the whirlwind of unhappiness they have created. And by the time they realize it, they are left behind, alone, to face the unavoidable consequences of their actions. They are trapped in a fragile and deeply wounded ego. Narcissists often choose the path of hatred and manipulation rather than confronting the true pain within their souls. They don't learn from mistakes, seek healing, or reflect on themselves. Instead, whenever challenged or whenever someone dares to point out their flaws, they respond by blaming others. Even the smallest criticism is perceived as a personal attack, and the critic becomes an immediate target for revenge. This is how they protect their fragile and delicate ego, which is masked by a facade of pride and strength. The typical black and white thinking of a narcissist causes them to see the world through a lens of suspicion and hostility. In their mind, no one is truly trustworthy. People are either labeled as allies or enemies. Anyone, intentionally or unintentionally, can become a threat to their fabricated sense of self. Narcissists believe the world is constantly against them, that everyone is conspiring to undermine or damage their honor. This mindset keeps them perpetually defensive and ready to attack, employing any manipulative tactics, sharp words, deceitful actions, or subtle schemes to neutralize those they perceive as threats. They may distort truths, fabricate stories to discredit others, or manipulate the emotions of people around them as pawns in their game. However, the root of these hateful actions is not strength or confidence. Behind the facade of toughness lies a deeply wounded soul, carrying a profound shame they cannot face. They harbor resentment not only toward others, but also toward themselves, because they cannot bear the truth of their imperfection. Rather than accepting and learning to love themselves, they deny all negative emotions and project them onto others. Every action they take, whether it's attacking, controlling, or manipulating, is not born out of love or a desire to help, but from selfishness and a fear of exposure. They dread the day when their mask will fall, leaving them with nothing to cling to. Yet ironically, these very behaviors propel them into the spiral of karmic consequences. Rather than mastering their own lives, they gradually become prisoners of the false self they have built, trapped in a cage of isolation, suspicion, and hatred. In reality, their hatred doesn't just harm those around them, it destroys them from within. Genuine relationships are ruined, opportunities to find love and peace are missed, and the price of their hatred is not just loneliness, but an emptiness that can never be filled. Ultimately, they become victims of their own actions, living in dissatisfaction and suffering they refuse to acknowledge. Every authentic connection they sabotage, every chance at growth they ignore, adds to the void within them. The true tragedy of the narcissist is that their greatest enemy isn't external, it is the fragile, wounded ego they carry inside, a self-imposed prison from which they may never escape. They face financial ruin. One of the most severe consequences narcissists often encounter is financial ruin. This stems directly from their personality traits and characteristic delusions of grandeur. They firmly believe they are superior to others and entitled to privileges without the corresponding effort. Their actions are often impulsive, lacking consideration for reality or the fundamental principles of finance and business. They dive headfirst into every opportunity as if they are invincible, disregarding money, risks, or long-term stability. Narcissists frequently plunge into risky ventures or wild ideas they believe will bring them immense success. They start businesses, invest, or make financial decisions without conducting research or having a plan. To them, success is not merely a goal, but something they assume they deserve, regardless of the circumstances. They are convinced their life will always follow an easy path, where wealth and fame will come effortlessly, without requiring foundational steps or persistent effort. However, reality seldom aligns with their illusions. The projects they gamble everything on often fail quickly, leaving them burdened with mounting debts. Time and again, they rope others, friends, family, or partners into their financial whirlpool as they constantly need new resources to recover from their failures. Tragically, instead of learning from their mistakes and reassessing their approach, they persist in repeating the same behaviors. This creates a never-ending cycle for many narcissists: failure, rebuilding, and failure again. Thus, it's not uncommon to encounter a narcissist boasting about their past achievements, grand successes they once had, or the brilliant plans they are currently devising. Even if they are financially ruined, they maintain a belief that they are destined for greatness. For them, the image they project to the outside world matters far more than the reality within. They may be drowning in debt or completely broke, yet they exude confidence and pride as their ego prevents them from admitting failure or helplessness. Of course, not everyone with a strong belief in themselves or their career is a narcissist. Many people face challenges but persevere with sound strategies to overcome them. However, narcissists often fall into financial ruin not because of bad luck, but because of their inability to realistically assess risks. Their arrogance, refusal to learn, and inflated sense of self lead them to financial collapse time and again. Financial ruin for a narcissist is not just a monetary consequence, but also a form of spiritual karma. When everything falls apart, they lose not only money, but also the trust and support of those around them. They become isolated, left without people willing to help or believe in them. Yet, instead of acknowledging their mistakes and changing their ways, they stubbornly cling to their illusions, prolonging their cycle of failure and dissatisfaction. This is the karmic spiral they create for themselves. Only by facing reality, accurately assessing their abilities and limitations, can they escape this cycle. But with their fragile ego and arrogance, this is often a nearly impossible task. As a result, they remain trapped on the path they chose, a road leading to ruin, both financially and spiritually. They have to face themselves. When everything falls apart simultaneously, losing a job, financial support, or ending a significant relationship, a narcissist is prone to severe crises. For them, the glamorous mask they painstakingly built is not just a tool to manipulate others, but also their sole source of self-worth. Behind this mask lies deep insecurity and inner wounds that have never been healed. However, they refuse to acknowledge their existence, as confronting real pain leaves them utterly vulnerable and exposed. When the mask is stripped away, they lose not only control over those around them, but are also confronted with a terrifying emptiness within. It's a moment where all their pretense and fabricated identity crumble, leaving behind a desolate void they have no idea how to fill. They feel as if the whole world is against them, with nothing left to cling to. In this state of despair, some narcissists sink into depression, feeling completely isolated and devoid of meaning in life. To them, life holds no value without someone to admire or submit to them. Instead of seeking help, they turn away from others, as admitting the need for help equates to acknowledging weakness, something they can never accept. In extreme cases, this desperation may lead to drastic actions like self-destruction, which they see as the only escape from the pain and turmoil they can no longer control. Such situations reveal a painful truth. Despite their outwardly strong, confident, and arrogant facade, narcissists are fragile individuals, bound by the very wounds they have long sought to conceal. The distorted ego they construct cannot withstand collapse, and when it happens, they become utterly helpless, like a small boat sinking in a stormy ocean. I understand that at times it seems as though narcissists escape the negative consequences of their actions. They may achieve small victories, impress others, or temporarily enjoy a sense of power. But remember, karma always operates, even if we don't immediately see it. It is an inescapable law, and over time it will reveal the consequences they must bear. What's crucial for you is to maintain your personal boundaries, stay firm and assertive when dealing with them, and most importantly, keep a safe distance. Remind yourself that you deserve a life built on positive, healthy values, dignity, respect, compassion, and civility. This is how you create good karma for yourself, a life you can be proud of and happy in, free from the manipulative games they play. Narcissists, even if they seem victorious in the short term, ultimately have only themselves. And when everything settles, they will realize that no victory can truly fill the emptiness within. In the long run, their karma is not just external consequences, but also an inner tragedy, something far more terrifying than any external punishment. Imagine life inside a narcissistic personality. It's a perpetual hell of their own making. This hell is not imposed by others, but is built by their callous spirit, arrogance, and unwillingness to forgive. They are trapped in an endless cycle of dissatisfaction, tension, and loneliness. Without compassion to heal, forgiveness to release, or genuine connections to provide belonging, they live in a state of complete emotional emptiness. This is their ultimate karma. They lose not only meaningful relationships or the trust of those around them, but also the chance for true happiness. Beneath their proud facade and self-satisfaction, they must confront an unbearable truth. Their life holds nothing genuinely profound or lasting. It's all pretense and fleeting power games. They will continue to seek admiration and recognition from others to try to fill the void in their soul, but all they receive is disgust and rejection. The people they have hurt gradually distance themselves, leaving them alone to face themselves. Isolation, insecurity, and unrelenting failure turn them into prisoners of their own inner bitterness. This is the real tragedy that narcissists must face and the unavoidable karma they create for themselves. Finally, the message I want to convey is do not let their pretense discourage you. Hold on to positive values and live your life in a way that makes you proud. Narcissists may live under the illusion that they control everything, but in reality, they are the ones imprisoned in their own personal hell. And this is the profound lesson karma teaches them, a lesson they lack the courage to learn or change. Just ignore them and focus on your work, let God handle the rest. Many times, a relationship with a narcissist can make us lose sight of the sacred and positive values we bring to our everyday lives. They not only consume our time and energy, but also overshadow our good intentions with their manipulation and negativity. Don't let that happen. Don't let them steal your ability to spread kindness and the good intentions you can offer to the world. Want karma to work positively? Start by living mindfully and intentionally in everything you do. Infuse love, kindness, and compassion into your actions, no matter how small they seem. In doing so, you not only create good karma for yourself, but also contribute to spreading positive energy in the world around you. Sacredness is not found in grand gestures, but in how you approach each day with gratitude and kindness. In contrast, narcissists often act with dubious, selfish intentions. They fail to see the value of sincerity, focusing solely on personal gain regardless of the impact on others. But remember, karma spares no one. Even if their negative actions don't result in immediate consequences, you can trust that the ledger of karma in the heavens silently records everything. Sooner or later, they will face the repercussions of their own actions. The key is to let go of control and any desire for revenge. Karma is not in your hands, and you don't need to try to control it. Your best course of action is to focus on your own path, uphold the values you cherish, and allow karma to unfold naturally. Narcissists may continue to live in the illusion that they've escaped all consequences, but the reality is they can't run forever. Live your life with freedom, love, and peace. When you choose to focus on the positive, when you bring sacredness into each day, you not only protect yourself from the narcissist's negative energy, but also affirm the superiority of good values. Ultimately, this becomes the karma you deserve, a life filled with meaning, peace, and happiness. And that's how the invisible hand of karma gradually transforms a narcissist's life. The actions, thoughts, and intentions they sow will inevitably shape the world they must live in. No one escapes karma. It's not just about justice, it's also the life lesson we are all compelled to learn. For a narcissist, karma isn't merely a reflection of past actions, but a powerful reminder that a life built without sincerity and empathy ultimately leads to emptiness and isolation. However, this can also be an opportunity. If they find the courage to face the truth, to change, and to break free from the destructive cycle they've created, karma itself can become their greatest teacher. As for you, remember that focusing on your own path and living with kindness, dignity, and compassion is how you create positive karma. Don't let the negative energy of others dim the light within you. Thank you for watching this video. If you found the content helpful, please give it a like and share it with anyone who might benefit from these messages. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Live with kindness and let karma take care of the rest. See you in the next video.